Hey everyone, I'm Paul, Squiddy to my friends, and if you're looking at this, you're on my Walking for Something page. So I'll try and keep this story succinct and in order and not go off on any tangents, which I can tend to do. So I suppose I might as well start at the beginning. It's early May, mid-May 2020, I think it was. It was just a normal day, day trip down to Canberra for work, up before dawn of course, and off down to Canberra, did my job, had some lunch probably, and back home to Sydney. Stopped in at the local grocery shop to stock up on some supplies, and got in the car and started driving out the car park. And as I was driving out the car park, I just had this insane stabbing pain in my chest, and just really stiffened up, and it was quite an unpleasant experience, I must say. At the time, I just sort of dismissed it as thinking I'd pinched a nerve in my back as I got in the car, as that has happened before, although generally that's at the bottom and not up here. So didn't really worry about it that much at that time. And continued home. It was about a 5-minute drive home from the shop. Just sort of, even within that 5 minutes, just by the time I got home, just the discomfort and pain was pretty intense actually. But being the bloke I am, come inside, made a coffee, drank the coffee, and laid down on the lounge to wait for it to get better. Which, obviously in those sort of situations, that's the thing you do when you're a bloke. So, after laying down on the lounge in, again, pretty serious pain and discomfort, needed to go to the dunny. Stood up, and my legs, feet, there's this weird sort of numb pins and needles sort of a feeling in it. It was like they weren't there, sort of thing. It was really, really strange. And walking, I just felt almost disembodied actually. I could look down, I could see them, and I could see them working. But couldn't feel them, which was extremely odd feeling. And anyways, wife kept home from work, tell her all about it. She's pretty concerned, obviously, as wives are. And oh, here comes trouble. But anyways, went to bed that night, thought we'll sleep it off. Woke up in the morning, situation's still the same. There's no improvement. So off to the GP we go. Getting the GP, tell the GP the story. She's sort of a bit concerned. Starts, gets me on the bed and starts, get some pins and some pens and starts poking me with these things. So, and to see if I could at least feel something. I could feel pressure, but beyond that, nothing. She could have been cutting my leg open with a steak knife and I wouldn't have known about it. So she says, all right, here's a script of some painkillers. Get to the hospital, into the emergency department as soon as you can. So it's kind of like, okay, this is escalating a little bit. Off to emergency we go, get there, and they were pretty good, sort of just, I'm really calm. I'm just sort of like, rah. Had this sudden pain, a bit numb, and they just get me in straight away. There's no waiting or anything, which was so they were obviously concerned as well, and got me on the bed and talking to a couple of doctors, and again the pins and the pens and whatnot for the sensation tests, I guess you could call it. And they're just completely baffled. it was quite odd because my right leg was really bad. My left leg was, probably half as bad, I guess. But my right leg was just off the wall, really, and even on fire. Actually, it was just burning, and that was the only thing I could feel was just intense heat in my leg. And anyways, they eventually give me a CT scan. That doesn't show anything. Hello, what are you doing? Here's a little troublemaker. So they give me a CT scan. That doesn't show anything. So they sort of said, all right, well, continue with the painkillers, and take a few days off work and see what happens. So off I go. Pain sort of diminished, but the weird numbness and pins and needles that just stayed as it was. Had the 3 days off. Back to work we went. There you go, little girl. There you go. So that's my daughter Keely, by the way. I should have introduced that. Sorry. So back to work I go, and my friends that know me know that I do maintenance within hospitals, which obviously involves a lot of driving and travelling and some hard work, I guess. So driving was not much fun. So you should get out of the car. If I was sitting for too long, I was just really stiff, and when I get out, I would just be this weird stiffness and stretching and whatnot for probably 30 seconds to a minute before I could actually start moving. It was just almost like a spasm, I guess. And carried on with that for a couple of weeks, and again still no real improvement. Booked in to see the physio. Thought, all right, we'll go see the physio and get this nerve problem sorted out. So, I still thought it was a pinched nerve. Get to the physio. I'm sitting down talking to, there was two guys on duty. I'm talking to the one who was to see me. The other one was talking to his client at the time, and obviously could hear the discussion I was having. And he actually excused himself from his client and came and joined our conversation and whatnot, which was a bit sort of, eyebrow raising, I guess. And after a little while, they've turned around and said, well, there's nothing we can do for you, mate. Oh, you're back again, huh? Yes, she's back again. So, they say nothing they can do. They're not going to touch me. I'm not, they're not the people I need to see. I need an MRI and a neurosurgeon, which, it was a bit of an odd thing to hear. So, anyways, get the referrals that are needed, off to the MRI, within a week or something, you're off again. So, bye, everyone. Off to the MRI we go. While I'm in there, the technician, she says, I can see something going on, so she gives me a contrast. Sorry, she doesn't like being put in the bouncer, but once she's in it, she loves it. So that will stop in a second. So, but anyways, off we go, and she gives me some contrast, does another scan, and an appointment for the neurosurgeon, which takes, I think 2 to 3 months wait, actually, from memory. It took a while, but so I was just, for those few months, just carrying on and that. But you can let Mummy put you in that. There you go. That's the way. There you go. Sorry, just putting Keely in the jolly jumper. You all right? It's a bit high there, Mum. Now, I'll be back in a second. You all right? Yeah. There you go. You all right? Okay. Sorry. Eva needed help putting Keely in the jolly jumper. So yeah, so 3 months waiting for the neurosurgeon, and that's just sitting around, you well, continued discomfort. Day finally comes to go see the neurosurgeon, get in. He sort of has a look at the scans, almost instantly gets very excited and says, "Oh, you've had a spinal infarct," which was like, what the hell's that? And then he's gone, but it's a blockage. So I've actually had a blockage of the blood supply to my spinal column, and he describes it as essentially having a stroke, but in my spinal column, which is obviously part of the neurological system, and not having a stroke in my brain, but in my back. And he then informs me that I've actually had a double infarct, which is extremely exciting as far as he's concerned, because there's also a blockage to the bone, so the vertebrae, which, to be honest, I still don't quite understand what that means at this point, and that's not really been mentioned ever since, to be honest. But for him, it was extremely exciting. It's a sort of situation where he said, like, there's basically a few individual cases that are documented, which is all he could find of that sort of thing. So yay me, nice and individual. He goes off to takes all the scans and all this information, because he said he's got a meeting with the neurological department of both the public and the private hospitals which he worked in, and then also took it to the vascular departments, which ended up just having more excited doctors, really, more excited and baffled. He calls me back eventually. He says, yep, we're all, nothing much we can do. If I sort of cut you open and poke around in there, just going to make matters worse. And so, it's best that we don't actually do that. You just got to continue on. Take an aspirin every day just to thin your blood and hope it doesn't happen again. Which is kind of not what you really want to hear. You want to hear the doctor saying we can do something for you, but he says, nothing we can do. That's just the way it's going to be, till the day I die. So life goes on, and obviously start taking the aspirins and just hoping shit doesn't happen again. Not really knowing what consequences would be. After a few months, this little one has come into our life and changed things. But that was a tough first couple of months, because she wasn't really happy about the change in her situation. She really liked where she was for those first 9 months, and wasn't happy about being in the wide open world. So bit of hard work there, really, and pain, my physical pain and stuff, it was very difficult. Like carry her around a lot and try to settle her and that sort of thing. Yeah, just jump up and down, jump. But got through that. As I said, very, very, very painful. Thankfully, she eventually accepted the situation and said, "Well, I can't go back to where I came from. I'm out here," and she settled and become the happy little girl that she is. So we're very fortunate there. And again, life just continued. She got to about 6 months old, I think. It was before that, actually. I finally started going to physio. I finally got a referral to the physio for exercise physiology, which was strength and sensory exercises, just to retrain my body, because sensations and messages between my lower body and the upper body were pretty messed up. Don't really know what's going on. But So I'd started all that stuff. That was going well. And one day, put the little one in the backpack carrier thing to take her for a walk around the block. Just to, she was having a bit of a day. Mum needed a rest, so I thought, all right, take her for a walk and let Mum have some time to herself. And I got barely a kilometre from home, really, because with her on my chest, and I just serious fatigue. I was ready to collapse. Actually, it was just it was crazy. I seriously felt like I was about to die or something. It was just and I was that close to calling my wife and saying, "Hey, come and get me," because like this is just nuts. But in the end, I thought, not going to continue. So kept walking. Got the walk done, which was said it was extremely intense. Anyways, I think it was only a week or two after that, I had a bit of a gout bout. So I tend to get some gout at times as well. And so I was off to the GP because I was out of the treatment for the gout, so I needed another script. And seeing it went to the same clinic, but a different GP to my normal GP. It was an old school bloke, and he was just going through my record. He's like, "Oh yeah, spinal infarct, blah." And just casually asked me what the cardiologist said about that. And I was okay, what cardiologist? I hadn't been to see the cardiologist, which upset him a little bit, actually. It was quite an odd reaction. But yeah, he was, pretty much called me an idiot for not seeing a cardiologist, and said, whenever these things happen, you've got to see the cardiologist, like any of this, like blockages and stuff. So if you ever have a blockage, go to your cardiologist, because you don't want to upset my GP. But so it's all right. Okay, no problems. We'll do that. So again, referral off to the cardiologist. Early tests show nothing. Like they do ultrasound, stress tests, and I think it's a couple other tests. And cardiologist is like, hey, everything looks really quite fine with your heart. It's functioning. It's doing its thing. So I even had a wearable ECG, which I had to wear for, I think it was like a month or something, which was